Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to The Charging, Volume 13, for our professional learning time at our late start on Wednesday, December 12th. To begin the charging, we want to spend about a minute just to review the purpose of our work, specifically how we're going about professional learning, why we create the charging. Although we have showed you this before and surveyed you on this, we believe it's really important to remind all of us and ourselves as to our purpose for our work together as professionals. We believe that the work we do and our profession matters. It matters a lot. And our profession is experiencing some important shifts and changes, some that our profession has never seen before. We also know that we are better when we are working together. And for us to take on these changes and shifts, we have to be aware that our time together is very limited. And therefore, when we are together, so that we can be better together, we have to create professional learning opportunities that's high quality. We need to make sure what we do is purposeful, well thought out, designed with our learners, us, in mind, because you deserve our best. And so we want to just reemphasize our efforts, our purpose in what we're trying to do for all of us to do our work together. Okay, specifically, let's talk about what our plans are for the late start on Wednesday, December 12th. What you see on the screen now are learning targets. Would ask that you stop for a second, pause this video, and review them. Put a different way, you've seen this before. We have been working on this process for a while. It's central to standards-based coursework. Our specific professional learning time this year, September and October, we've talked about identifying desired results or standards, deconstructing them down into what a specific knowledge and skills students will need to work on and master. And so what we're going to do with our late start on Wednesday is kind of this bridge gap between, so once we have those, let's talk about step 2, assessments. So here are the specific directions for Wednesday's late start. One, we're going to ask that you choose to identify and work within a PLC of your choosing. All PLCs, regardless of who you're going to be working with, all of us, we're going to look at a common designed assessment that is aligned to a deconstructed standard. It's work out of ELA 9, part of our Grading for Learning initiative. All of us are going to review that and go through some standard questions that we want all PLCs to talk about. If you're far along in this progression, you feel like you have a firm understanding of standards-based work, this will be a great review, a reemphasis on essential elements, maybe a brushing up of some things. If you feel like you're just beginning that journey, this will be a great exposure to what this actually looks like. We've been talking about this for a while. You'll see how the connection between step 1 and step 2 happens in real time. So that'll be part of the work. And then again, depending on where you are at as a PLC, you'll have the remainder of the time to work on either more standards work or as a PLC working on assessments, whether formative or summative, for the remainder of our time together. So what I want to do now is take you into Canvas. As you know, we've migrated over there for our professional learning, and I want to walk you through what you actually have to do and how this is going to work. Okay, now I'm inside of our North Professional Learning Canvas course. And so the first thing I'm going to do is click on modules. This is what you would have done to watch the charging. What you'll see inside of here is how the module is laid out for our late start. You'll notice here the date for our late start says prior to it. Going to be asked to do 2 things. One, to view the charging, which you're doing now. I've clicked next. It'll take you to a PLC location form. We're asking that all staff complete this, not just one for a PLC, but all staff, to walk you through what are you going to be doing, who are you going to be meeting with, where will you be meeting for Wednesday. After you hit submit, you're then going to click next. And what it's going to take you to are 2 documents. These again are a common assessment developed by ELA 9 as part of their GFL coursework. And what we're going to ask is that every PLC review this document The next document you're going to want to look at is then the thing they did prior to developing that assessment, a deconstructed standard. Just kind of a tip, I would suggest maybe that if you're working in your PLC groups, maybe have one person stays on these documents so that you can see them. Because after you review these two documents, in Canvas you're going to click Next, and then there are going to be a series of discussion questions that you're going to walk through as a PLC. This is a feature of Canvas, allows you to do discussion questions. So there's 8 of them total. You're going to walk yourself through all those 8, again based on those example assessments and deconstructed standards from ELA 9. Once as a PLC you've walked through those document-based discussion questions and given your responses, you'll notice as you submit your responses, you'll then be able to see through the discussion feature of Canvas, you'll be able to see what other PLCs are also writing. And that's a great way of checking in to see how your perspectives maybe align with or differ from some of your colleagues. The final step for the late start will be is choice time. So again, if you're a PLC and you feel like you've put in a lot of work and time and effort into understanding the standards-based process, this first stage may take you a shorter amount of time, maybe 30 minutes or 45 or even an hour. And so for the rest of that time, you can use to do one of 3 options. You as a PLC can work on further standards work. So we've got a document here with sort of lane 1 options that we would like to work on standards and learning targets. So we've got some resources for you. If as a PLC, you're going to want to take time to work on formative assessments, again, lane 2, your option here, we've got some resources linked for you to do that. Or if you're going to spend that time working on summative assessments, again, lane 3, we've got some options and some resources linked for you. If as a PLC, this is going to take you the entire time because you're going to have a fruitful discussion, or maybe you're not as far along as other PLCs are, that's okay too. You can use that remaining time, in fact the entire time, to just walk through the example assessment and standards deconstructed. So that's where we're trying to provide some choice for PLCs. So we want to thank you for watching The Charging. Thank you for your work this upcoming week at our late start, and we'll see everyone on Wednesday. Thank you.